for her. She put it up afterwards for me, which
Okay,
was
so
great.
she messaged you guys.
Yeah. Well, she messaged me. I don't know about the others, but I got a message
Okay, that's great.
saying
Yeah,
that
I just told
she
her
thought
that.
she had, I think, as she said, she forgets that we are a day ahead of them, that while they are
Okay.
still in the day before, we are
Mm,
already into the new day. And I think that's
okay.
where it comes, the problem comes as such.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
so
So you're now live, Sue.
thank you so much. I have a lovely rest of the day.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you
Bye
so
for
much.
now.
You too have a
Uh,
great class. Bye bye. See you
bye
tomorrow.
bye. See you tomorrow. While I was talking to you, I was coming up with attaching some wheels. My wheels are not dry. My wheels will not stay there because they have not dried. Tell you right now, my wheels haven't dried. They will fall. They do need to dry properly. I've just got them resting here. Where's my baby one? This one. Oh, there it is. Wake up, Susan. Wake up. Put that through. Put glue on the other end of this one and attach a wheel. I didn't keep the green one out. The tape is not going to be strong enough. I'll tell you right. Strong enough. So this way. Put on this back. And tape. Tape onto. I had a blue one out, but I'm not sure. Oh, it's there. Mm. That one needs more glue. Where's the glue? Need to put it into the ball. Here comes Sandra. Great. Hi, Sandra. Lovely to have you in class. Great to see you. Uh, Always nice to have people in class with me. I hope today you are going to enjoy building some very simple, easy to do moving toys that you can use with all ages. It, some of them might look almost a little babyish, but I find that the older children at first look with disdain and say, oh no, not for me. Then when they see the things starting to work, they are the next ones that are in and going. So I hope today you'll be able to learn something. Sandra, would you like to type into the box or tell me where are you at the moment? Are you in America or are you in Australia or Europe? Okay, not to worry.
I'm in Michigan.
In Michigan. Okay,
Yes.
so it's midnight for you. Ow.
Yes.
You're up very late tonight.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yes.
much for being in class. My classes are moving a little earlier from next month. They've asked me if I'll do earlier classes, which means I get up at 6 in the morning, but that's okay. I don't mind if it's able to make it easier for you to be able to enjoy the classes. All right. Let's see. There are others that should join us, but I'm not sure if they will. It's so late for so many people. So let me share my screen. And please, you can keep your microphone on and then just interact as you wish. What I'm hoping is that with simple things that you have in your house, you are able to build a variety of moving toys for children to play with. And it can be of any age. You can even set them a task saying, here's the stuff I would like you to make this. And then the sky's the limit as far as their imagination goes. And that is always a good thing. But as you know, we learn from each other, and being able to interact and talk is awesome. Those who join live stream, you unfortunately cannot interact with us, but best is to join the class and then you can. If I mention a product, it's purely because it's something I use or I have. We're certainly not given paid for doing so. I live in Perth, Australia. With my husband, who's also a Get Set Up guide. And I have been an educator for 44 years. Hi, Carol. Lovely to have you in class. Here she comes. She's joining us too. How are you? Lovely to have you in class. Whereabouts are you, Carol?
I'm sorry.
Whereabouts?
I'm in Maryland.
Maryland. So what time is it in Maryland?
12 a.m.
Okay, you're also up at midnight. Oh, sorry. For me, it's 12 p.m. So I have just reached midday and I'm going to have lunch after my lesson because I live in Perth, Australia. So that is why my time is so different. I see you've got a box of things there. Now that looks interesting.
Well, I want to make something that my coffee maker will sit on so I can just roll it in and out. But let me see if I can move this. I want to know how to do the wheels.
That's we do. We cover wheels today. So you'll learn how to do the wheels. Yes. And it's actually quite simple how to do that. So let's have yes, that's right. But now to get those wheels to turn and be attached is a bit of a problem. I'll show you how. It's actually quite an easy thing. Hi, Melinda. Lovely to have you joining us as well. Right. I've been an educator for 44 years, teaching from little children right up to adults. I still educate, but what I enjoy with Get Set Up is I share. I don't have to educate. I just share ideas and have an interaction with others who have similar ideas or new ideas. I enjoy creating and making things, including puzzles, any kind of puzzle. Jigsaw puzzles are also a great favorite, but puzzles on my phone, just as much fun. I have a great love of animals. That's why I do my animal series. And I enjoy being a Get Set Up guide. So while we're here, let's go. Our agenda today is some of the things we're making. We're going to make rockets. We're going to make catapults and crossbows, vehicles with wheels and axles, which Carol can use, monster munches, robotic arms, and a domino engineering project. So let's find out. We're going to start with what's on the page here. I've made a miniature one using popsicle sticks. I have obviously the bigger you make it, the better it is. And in my popsicle stick class, it's one of the boredom busters that I do. There's a whole lot with popsicle sticks. We make marble runs and it's structures, my structure class. Right. So we've got, what I do is I draw where I would like to put my sticks, because you need to make sure the gap is big enough for your marble to get through or your bead to get through and get so that it can come out at the end. If you are worried about a marble and that a child might choke on a marble, M&Ms, Smarties, all of those sort of things work very, very well as the popsicle, as the thing that they can put to go through. So now, once I've done that, I then put my glue on my sticks and I design my board. Then putting your marble in, they've then got to push the marble round and get it out the bottom. or you can ask them to get it into the top corner. Now they've got to wiggle and squirm and get it into the place you've asked for. So there are lots of different things you can do with your little maze or marble run. So this is, as I say, miniature, so you can see it in the screen. Now, the first thing we're going to be doing is finding out what tools we need. We don't need a lot of tools. We need some scissors, elastic bands, sucker sticks, straws and tape, pegs, earbuds, buttons, split pins, paper fasteners, and Google Eyes if you're making something that you want the eyes to move on it. But most of these things you either have or you can get at your local dollar store very easily. But most of them, you actually have them in your house. So we can start with some fun exercises. Our first one is working with a balloon. All you need is your balloon. I've attached it to the far side of the room so that it'll work. I have a balloon and a straw. I've attached the balloon to the straw and I'm now going to blow it up. Now, you can see I've attached the balloon to the straw and I've put a piece of string through the straw. Now, when you pull your string tight, and you can have it right across a room, you can have it right down a passage, just as long as you can attach it somewhere at the other end so that it's firm. You can pull it nice and strong. You then, just working upside down, hold on. Let me do it that way. Now, I hold tight, have my balloon blown up, ready. There it's gone, right to the top and back it comes. And now you can blow it up again and it takes off up to where as far as you allow it to go. And you can either have it straight, then it won't come back. But if you have it at an angle, it takes off and it comes back. And they can play for hours just with a straw, a balloon, and a piece of string. So that just makes it so easy for them to be able to play. Any questions on that one? Right, the second one we're going to do is you need a straw. I've taken 4 little pieces of firm felt or plastic just to make it so that it's got a stand. And the top you close over with tape, so that the end of the straw is blocked. The reason is you want to blow through it, and if it's going to blow straight through, your rocket will not take off. You then use a smaller straw than the straw you've got. You put it inside. Now my rocket is on my straw. There's my rocket on my straw. Carol, you can get a recording of this so you can do it easily. And I do send you some ideas as well. Right, so now what you do is you blow hard with your straw. Off goes my rocket. My rocket's up and gone. They fetch their rocket. They can have competitions as to whose rocket. When I've only got one grandchild, then I have competitions with her. Whose one can go the furthest? How far can it go? And I have just as much fun as she does. So it really works with everyone to be able to have your rocket. The third one, you use 4 popsicle sticks, 2 popsicle sticks at the top, and 2 popsicle sticks underneath, joined together just to make some strength. I then put 2 buttons on the top just so that your elastic band doesn't come here to the middle. So it's just to keep it at a distance. And I put a straw on top. Here's my straw on top. Now, I put my elastic band around the buttons and back again. Just in fact, it goes round the edge of the stick, not round the button, and it hooks on the button. I am now ready to launch. What you use is you use earbuds. Children can't hurt each other with an earbud. So you use something that is not going to harm anyone, an earbud, unless they are very accurate and get it in an eye, but it's unlikely to hurt anyone. You pull your elastic band back as I've just got to get, mine's a strong elastic band. So with children, you would not probably use as strong an elastic band as I'm using, because if you've got a strong elastic band, it makes it quite difficult to hold. But I pull it back as far as I want. I've pulled it back. It's still inside the earbud is still inside the straw, so it's quite set. Ooh, it's come out now. And I release. Oh, I didn't release. I kept it to my finger. That wasn't very clever. All right, let's release it again. Go pull back nicely. Hold tight. And release. There it goes down the passage. It's ended up halfway down my passage. I'll go and retrieve it after the lesson. So this is another very nice form of rocket. You are launching it out of just 4 popsicle sticks and a piece of elastic. So it's and a straw. So it's very easy to make. I do give you this in my notes. I give you most of the moving things in my notes afterwards. Right. Now, the last one is just origami, simple paper folding. It's actually 4 folds or 5 folds, and it folds out so that it actually ends up flat. It's a flat fold, and you then open it up so that it pops up and it makes a rocket. Again, you take a strong straw, put the straw inside. If you put it on a table, it's better because it stands on the table. I'm just going to try and stand it on my hand. Away it goes, gone. You go and find it later on, and they can then again play. How far does it go? How high does it go? And so on. Any question about rockets? Anybody going to try some of those rockets? Yes, Carol.
Yes.
I was just wondering, another time maybe you would do stuff like cat toys, kind of the same idea.
Well, I've got a meeting with my boss this afternoon, and it has been put forward, toys for pets. And so I've got a whole lot of ideas. I've just got to get the go ahead, and then in May it'll come out as toys for pets. Yeah. I've had a few requests for toys for pets, and yes, I've already done my research, and when I meet this afternoon, I'm hoping they'll give me the go-ahead to make a variety of interesting toys for pets, and then they can have fun too. Right. So I hope, hold thumbs, Sandra. Hopefully it'll come through. You'll see in May if I've been given the go ahead. I'm changing quite a few of my lessons in May, so we'll see what comes up. We're doing a discussion this afternoon. All right, now let's go. Now we are looking at catapults and bows and arrows. A very, very simple catapult to make. 3 of your popsicle sticks stuck together so that you've got some thickness between the 2 smaller ones, one on the top, one on the bottom. Join them with elastic bands round the center to hold it still, and round the base to just keep it at these 2 ends down and tight. Now I've got my catapult. So I can put a cotton bud into it, and I can release my cotton bud. Off it went. No, dog, you can't eat a cotton bud. It's not edible. My dog wants to eat the catapult. And now I've got a little baby koala. I'll stand my little koala in there, pull it down, and off goes koala. So you can release marshmallows, you can release all sorts of things that the children can try and catch. And if they catch it, they can eat it. You can just put a variety of things in there, Smarties, M&Ms, anything, and just release it, see who can catch it. If you catch it, you got it, it's yours. And so they can have some fun with their catapult. Just be careful. Some of the little ones think that a stone is a good idea. It's not, because those can hurt. My rule is if you use something that is going to hurt someone, it's gone and it's confiscated and we don't see it again. So they learned very quickly not to do that because they wanted to keep their things. You can make a mini bow and arrow. You can soak your popsicle stick in water for about 20 minutes. Then your popsicle stick can bend into any shape you want. You can put it inside a glass and then it makes a round, so you can make it into a bangle. But if you only want to do it a little, you can just bend it a little to where you want. And then you attach I made a little notch in the popsicle stick, just so that my string stayed where I wanted it to stay, top and bottom. And then I tied my string very tightly. And now another one of these, I go looking for them after my lessons. You pull it, put it in, hold it. Oh, that one didn't go anywhere. I didn't hold it enough. Hold it. And gone down the passage. So they fly really far, and it's a nice and safe and easy and a little bow and arrow. If you do one with piping and string, that has to be supervised. You have to do it and then set up targets that they can hit, be it tin cans, be it something, and it's specific that they are aiming at, not birds or animals. So, or their friends is another favorite one. See if I can hit him as he goes past. So and I always make sure the end is dampened, even if I put wads of cotton wool on it, anything like that, and make it into an end, just so that if it does hit, it doesn't hurt. You can build other catapults using your sticks, popsicle sticks. You can build very easy catapults. And even a shoebox, you can build a catapult in a shoebox. So lots of things to build with. Now, just what Carol was asking about, wheels and axles. Your best wheel and axle is if you've got your wheels, now they're there, they turn, but now if you're attaching them to something, you attach the axle and then it doesn't turn. What you do is you put a straw on, and a straw, now my wheels can spin on the straw. I can now attach my straw to what I want to attach it to. And I can have a longer, shorter, however big I want to make it, and then my wheels will turn. If you can use wooden wheels, or taking two milk bottle tops and joining them together. They make a very firm wheel. They make an excellent wheel. Singles are a little wobbly, but join two together. Let me just grab two out of my big bowl. Oh. I have a large bowl of tops. Those two look like they fit. I take two together, and I join them together with glue. They make a really strong wheel, nice and strong as a piece of wood would be. So they really do very well as a wheel. Then use your dowel stick, or you use skewers to go through. And then your secret that you were looking for, Carol, is your axle. And your axle needs to be encased in something. So you put it inside anything that it can fit through comfortably and allow it to move. And then your coffee maker will move all over the place. You'll be able to pull it along and pull it into your room and do it as you want. So it works really well. Wheels and axles for anything are great. You can also get, if this is the fun way to do it, but of course you can buy wheels that you attach, but I think making your own wheels is more fun. You can buy the wheels that you just screw in to whatever your piece of wood, and then those wheels, and they also have locks on them. So those are also very good to use. But try and have some fun with some other things first and see if they're strong enough or big enough to do it. So that you can also make wheels and axles with a peg, 2 straws or 1 straw cut, so that you've got your skewer going through it. And then I've just used beads as my wheels. And my wheels, they're still drying, so they're not as accurate as they will be. Whoops, that has come off, mustn't come off. I made this about half an hour ago so that it would be visible in class. Now your little car runs along like those racing cars that have got an up back and a down front, and away it can go. They've used gumballs. I used round wooden beads as mine. Works beautifully, gets it to go. I could have also used milk bottle tops, would have worked just as well. Just simple, simple, simple. Now, I'm not sure what you call this. In South Africa, where I come from South Africa. I lived there for 63 years before I moved to Australia 3 years ago. We call this a toliki, but I have no idea what the English name is for it. What you do is you get, when you've finished using your cotton, and my cotton seems to take forever, so I haven't got one, and you put an elastic band through it. On the one side, you attach it with a gem clip, but make sure the gem clip's not longer than the actual wheel itself. And then on the other side, you put anything, a long pencil, anything like that, and you wind it up. You wind and wind and wind and wind. When you let go and put it down, this thing moves down the pathway, even though one is much longer than the other. It doesn't look as if it'll work, but I promise you it does. It goes. So as I say, we used to call it a toliki, but I don't know the English version of it. I must maybe look up the English name. You've got your little cars made with toilet rolls, very easy to put together. Just for those, you would just, because they can turn inside the toilet roll, you wouldn't need to put a straw, and then off they go. And it's always better with a straw because the straw just gives it that extra bit of movement. You can use your old containers to make interesting shaped cars. You can use milk bottles, milk cartons. They make caravans and all sorts of things. And then, of course, you can build your own car using your popsicle sticks. So any kind of container can be used to make a vehicle. And they are wonderful. You can put them onto, I've seen them. In fact, I did this with my classes. Depending on the age, they all had to build vehicles. And the older ones, obviously, their vehicles were much more advanced, and the little ones had very simple ones. But some of them built amazing things. They took shampoo bottles and attached the wheels to a shampoo bottle, put a sail on it, and now it was like a ship that moved, and they had such fun. We used to just have a big box, and people brought all the things that they were clean, that they weren't using, and they went in there. When it was time to build, they were given a choice of anything you want to build, you build. And that's exactly what they did. They built. So it was really great. Any questions before we move on from wheels? Yes, Carol.
Just double checking. It looks like you're saying you do glue the wheel to the rod or the axle. It's not like the wheel spins around the axle.
The wheel is glued to the axle. The piece that moves is your center. This whole thing moves.
Have you tried it the way I'm doing it, where this moves?
Where just the wheel moves round and round? Yes.
but now
Because
how
you
do
need
you,
something to keep it from rolling off.
yeah, well, that's
My
why
way.
if you connect it, yeah, and you put this on it instead, you can now attach this and it won't fall off because the whole of the axle and wheel move together. They are encased inside a different axle, which then allows them for the movement that takes place. I've got one
Thank
wheel
you.
that's not straight. It's definitely doing a wobble. I'll have to look at that. But those are just some fun ideas with your wheels and axles.
I had a question. This is Sandra.
Yes.
The one,
Yes, Sandra.
I think you're using a spool from a spool of thread.
Yes, you are.
That one you're pointing at. Now, what makes it move? Is there a rubber band attached?
Yes. What I said was you took that, you put a rubber band through, and on the one end you put a gem clip to hold the rubber band in it. So if you let me just see if I can use this. If you pretend that this is my spool, I would there's obviously a hole all the way through. I put an elastic band through, and on this side I would attach a gem clip to it. With the elastic band is joined to the gem clip. Let me grab a gem clip and an elastic band. Where's my gem clips? There's my straight gem clips. There's a gem clip and an elastic band would be in the elastic band drawer. Where's the elastic band drawer? I think that's the elastic band drawer. No, that's not elastic bands. No, where have all my elastic bands wandered off to? Lost my elastic bands for a minute. I know I've got a whole bag of them. They're definitely not in that one or that one, so they must be on this side. Oh, come on. I've got so many drawers with things in them that I would have thought it would have been easy to find them. Oh, they're not in there? No. Where have my elastic bands wandered off to? They're definitely not in there. Oh, the one I didn't open. The one and only one I didn't open. There we go. Here are my elastic bands. So I'm going to use a peg as if the peg is the spool. Okay, so the spool has a hole through it. So I would put my elastic band through the spool, push it through, so it comes out the other side. Okay, so now it's on the spool. I then use a gem clip, a small one, because you don't want it to be bigger than what you're working with. And come on, go inside.
Paper clip. A paper clip.
Paper clip.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we call it a gem clip. So I've got my paper clip there, I've got my spool there, and I've got this side. Now, this side I put a pencil into, and I wind up. I wind and I wind and I wind my pencil up until the elastic band is really tightly wound, as tight as you can get it to wind. And then so that it actually ends up, this is too small. I would need 2 or 3 pegs to make it work. So that it's right up against the peg, you let go, and immediately this moves. This goes round and round, and it makes the whole thing move. Even though it's bigger than the thing you're working with, it works very well. And it's amazing because it seems lopsided and it seems it's not going to work, but it does.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, pleasure. Any other questions? Okay, so now let's move on to gears and pulleys. Children love to know how their bicycle works. How does the curtain open at the theatre? How do we open our blinds every day in the house? And so we learn how gears and pulleys work. And it's very easy to make a gear system by just cutting 2 pieces of cardboard and attaching corrugated card to the outside of them. So it's about that thick. And then you can make small ones and big ones, and then putting them with long pins through into some cardboard below. You then turn, and you turn one and it turns everyone. It doesn't matter if one is very big, one is very small. You can turn the littlest one, you can turn the biggest one, and you can make it turn anywhere. And this they find fascinating, to see how by moving one, it now sets off a chain reaction of all the others. You can also build it with bottle tops and your popsicle sticks by just gluing on the little popsicle sticks onto it, and then put your popsicle sticks so that they just touch, and then the one sets off a chain reaction with the next one. And you can even go up the side of the box. It works just as well. So they see how it works, and they really enjoy working with that. You then can start looking at pulleys, and you make them the pulley. So they've got a little bucket of any description with a piece of string through it, and their arm is the pulley. It goes up, it goes down. They have got the pulley system. Underneath the little bucket, I take tiny bits of magnets. Often I get in the post magnets to put on your fridge with names of companies and things like that. After I've used it for a while, I then cut it up into little squares, and now I've got lots of magnetic squares. I don't have to go out and buy. You can buy magnetic sheets, but I don't. I use what I've got from companies that come in the post. And then what you do is they lower the bucket onto your paper clip or paper clips, and the magnet picks up the paper clips, and now their arm is the pulley. It pulls up. How many paper clips did you pull up this time? And down again. How many paper clips did you get this time? Or they can put all the paper clips inside the bucket. Can I lift them up? Yes, I can. If I put a rock inside, can I lift it up? No, it's really hard, but I can still lift it. My arm is the pulley system. So that's where they learn from themselves what a pulley is all about. Then you can make the very simple one that I've got here. I've just got to take it out of the box at the bottom here. You take 2 of the paper towel holders. You cut a V at the top so that the straw can fit in very comfortably. And I covered over the top just so that my straw didn't come out, because I think I cut my V's a little wide. And I used a spool of ribbon on here at the moment. And now what I do is, let me see if I can hold this and turn. This should be interesting. Okay, if I hold, because I'm not putting it on the table, obviously. Right, now, as I turn, so up goes my string. As I unwind, so down come, oh, they've got too close together. As I go up, there it goes. All my string is going up to the top. Now my string is coming back down again. I can put a toilet roll on the bottom. I can put a bucket on the bottom, but they can make a pulley system. And then they learn how a pulley system works. Then they look at their blinds and they realize, as I pull on the strings, so the blinds go up. As I let go the strings, so down comes so there's a pulley system available in our blinds that we have in our house every day. And so by looking at these, they learn how to use the pulley system. Any questions? Fun ideas? Lots of simple things using what we have at home. Now, Gears and Monster Munchers, they love these. They love having something that they can use and have to as a system. Now, I'm hoping I did put it back. Good. The first one and the most simple one is a peg. So you start off with this, particularly with the little ones. How does a lever work? A peg is a lever. So you cut a shape, cut the shape with a gap all the way through it. Now, when they open it, it opens and closes its mouth, and they can chase each other and bite each other and see who's going to eat what, and they can make any animal they want, put it on a peg, and it opens and closes its mouth, and away it goes. This is your simplest of all the levers. Then you can start going on to more complex levers where you use your cereal boxes and you cut them into strips of about that wide, and the length doesn't matter. The longer they are, the more they stretch out. I've made mini ones so you can see them on the screen. This one is made just out of 4 little pieces of card. And what I've done is I've made a hole at the end of each of them. And on these two, I've moved the hole in slightly because I want to use that as how to make it open and close. So there is my opening and closing and bite. It goes far. It can go quite far across the picture and bite something. This is your next size up lever that you make. And then finally, you use your ones in what I would call the correct way. You make 3 holes, 1, 2, 3, one in the middle and one on each end of each piece of card. Then what I've done is taken paper fasteners, you push them through and fold them over at the back. Let me just get where you can see it. Folded them over at the back so that they're not sticking out. I've chosen short paper fasteners, and there's your front. Looks very nice. They can paint it and make it all colors and put a face on the front with teeth or anything else you want. Now I can be closed with my mouth wide open and I can go and bite you. Closed and I can go and bite you. They really enjoy working with this kind of lever. They make all sorts of creatures using just the simple 3 what are these things called? Split pins per piece. And that then makes a really nice toy to play with, a moving thing. They can have fun, they can give it to their friends. And then your older children, you can set them a task. Their task is to now use your levers that you've learnt, but this time I want him to open his mouth and to put something in his mouth. So when his mouth's open, his hand is up. When his mouth's closed, his hand is down. Now, this is a real challenge. They've got to work out which levers they want to fasten so that they don't move and which ones they want to allow to move. As you can see up at the top here, this one's actually fastened tight because you don't want that one to go backwards and forwards. You actually want it to stay exactly where it is. This mouthpiece is the bit that opens and closes. The bottom jaw doesn't move. And so here again, our middle is held and our arm is the only piece that moves. But it's quite difficult for them to work out. This is for your teenagers. They really enjoy a challenge. And when they've got a challenge, they are very happy to oblige and come up. And when they've made it, they are over the moon that they have succeeded in reaching the challenge and accepting it and doing it. So that is a lovely one for them to do. Our final one on this page is our robotic hand. Now, a robotic hand is very interesting. What you do is you put your hand on a piece of cardboard and you draw around your hand just bigger than your hand. Then at the very top, then you show where your fingers bend. So each of our fingers bends once, bends twice. And so there 3 times actually, because it goes in as well. So there's 3 bends on each of these fingers, but only 2 bends on this finger, on the thumb. So you mark where your fingers move, and then you bend the cardboard so that your cardboard is now able to be bent closed. So it's all you're doing is bending at the moment. Then attaching at the very top, you attach a piece of string to each finger at the very top. Make sure that you've attached them carefully. I actually even put staples in them to make sure it really stayed, and you can just paint fingernails over it. Nobody's going to notice the staple. And then cutting small pieces of straw. You attach 1 small piece of straw to each of your joints. So you've got 1 at the top, 1, 2, 3. 3 places that it bends, you've got 3. 3 again, 3 again, 3 again. And so you have now got your fingers. Now, my hand, I've got a very small hand, so I skipped out the longer middle ones and just went for a short one. I put 1 in the middle here. And now as you pull each finger, so the finger goes down and bends inwards. And if you scored them correctly, they will pull in really beautifully. And in the end, you can pull your whole hand. Which finger am I missing? My thumb. Where's my thumb? If you use different colors for each finger, it's a lot easier because then you can find which finger you're working with. I've lost a finger here. My thumb. Where's my thumb? Because I want to pull it tight. Is that one a thumb? No. Is that one a thumb? No. That one a thumb? No. That one the thumb? No. This must be, the last one, of course, is always the one when you're looking for it. So I can pull all my fingers into, and they love having a robotic hand where they can pull things in. They see if they can pick things up with their robotic hands, let go, pick up. And it all depends. They'll see if they've made the straw a little too big, then their fingers don't bend as well. I want to remake this one with smaller pieces of straw. I think my pieces of straw were just that, because when they bump up against each other, it doesn't fold as well. So I will be investigating redoing it, and they can do it. They can change. This finger doesn't bend. What now I need to do to get this finger to bend better? But they do enjoy having a hand that bends and comes in. So that's their robotic hand or robotic arm. Any questions? Shame it's 1 a.m, Carol. It's late. We're nearly there. The last thing is a domino challenge. This is great fun. All you do is take 2 pegs and a popsicle stick, and you make a little fence. Basically, you push your popsicle stick nicely into your peg. Now, make a whole series of those, and you start off with them in a straight line. And then they hit one and it knocks them like a domino. Bing, 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 all the way down. Now, that's too simple. Now you set them a path that they've got to follow. And it might have a kink in it, and it might go this way or that way. How do they place them now so that when they hit, it can go around the corner? And how do they do it? So, and if you can also give them fewer or more of these little fences to make it a harder challenge or an easier challenge. So it really is a great way of getting them, particularly on a rainy day, even for yourself. I've done a domino challenge for myself one day. I thought, I wonder how far I can get my dominoes to go. What happens if I do this? And I made my own domino challenge, and I had just as much fun as the kids do, all on my own doing my domino challenge. So that is our last of our moving toys. So I hope that if you've got comments, please can you make some comments if you don't like what you've seen. And if you want to get a copy of the recording, help@getsetup.io will give you the copy and you can look at things slowly. I do send you a lot of what I've made as in your email as attachments to your email so that you've got them. All right. She was so tired. I think she has reached the end. Thank you so much for being in class. I really appreciate it. I know it's late at night, and I really think that is awesome that you could be up with me. I hope to see you in some of my earlier classes. Did you enjoy it, Sandra?
Yes, I did. My grandson's visit for the entire summer. So I'm going to be using some of these ideas. And when you send us our follow-up email, will there be some pictures included to remind us? Yes. Okay,
yes,
good.
there are.
Thank you.
There are pictures to remind you. Also, if you've got your grandson, look at my Boredom Busters structures and my Boredom Busters. There are two structures and is it pigs and suckers? One is structures and one is, you'll see they're coming up. They've got hundreds of ideas. Also, just using popsicle sticks, my granddaughter loves building things and creating different things with me. And now the neighbors all come in as well. And the new family my son is with, they've got 4 kids. And whenever I get there, I'm not allowed to sit with the adults. What are we building today? What are we making? How are we making? What have you brought? And they really enjoy it. So there are plenty of ideas there for you as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Sandra. I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks, Melinda, for being in class. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.